Hello guys, good morning. Good morning po sa inyo lahat. At ngayon po ay papunta kami ng Rottnest Island. Waiting for the jetty. Yan po. Ito yata po yung sasakyan namin o yung isang yun malaki. Ang Rottnest Express. Yun. Nato tayo sa city. Aking yan. Maraming papunta ng Rottnest Island oh. Yan, may mga baon rin na ano pagkain. Ayun, si Kuya Alan. Bibili yata ng ticket. Yan po yung sasakyan namin papuntang Rottnest Island. 1 hour from here to Rottnest. So aalis kami ng 8:45. Magkapiraw muna kami bago umalis.
We're traveling today this river they know as Yerrigan, and crossing to the island they know as Wajima.
So we are heading to Rottnest Island.
So this river and the island of Wajima and Rottnest are sacred special places to the Wajak Noongar people of the Perth region.
Look at the jellyfish.
Pay respects to their elders past and present.
Ang lalaki po ng jellyfish.
Elizabeth Key, there's this view behind us, the Twin Arches. That was built by our previous Premier, Colin Barnett. I had to think of his name there for a second. And his idea was to connect the city with the river. He didn't like the idea that there was parkland all the way around, and instead resumed
Park
at the city. We're on Perth Water now, we're going to head over the Narrows Bridge.
Kings Park. Marami pong mararaan ng magandang tanawin.
Now the bridge we're heading under,
Para na rin kayo
Narrows Bridge,
nakapasyal.
is actually 3 bridges. The first one was built in 1959, and at 400 metres, it was at the time the longest pre-stressed, precast concrete bridge in the world. They added a second bridge in 2001, which doubled the capacity of the freeway, and then in 2005, added the little bridge right through the middle, the one we're going under now. That's got the railway line on it. So they had the Perth to Mandurah railway line. Just an example of Perth maturing as a city. Mandurah used to be a holiday town to the south of Perth. It's now a satellite city, connected by rail and freeway. So there are many people who live in Mandurah and commute to Perth City. I was born in Swan District's hospital, the upper reaches of this river, and I grew up with a jetty at the end of my street. Spent my summers playing in the Swan River, doing swimming lessons, and my Boy Scout group had a boat shed. We played in canoes and little yachts on this river. It's a place that I love. And I suggested to you this morning, it is a Saturday morning in Perth, but I can see some people in a little tinny there doing some crabbing. They got some crab nets out. But have a look around us as we travel down the river this morning and see how many different recreational activities you can spot Perth people doing on and around our river. I can see a cyclist over there. Maybe we'll see some kayakers or sailors. Just have a look at how many different ways you see Perth people enjoying who frequent the Swan River.
Nakita ninyo
They live in the
kagandahan
ocean,
ng
but they'll
Perth.
enter through Fremantle and come upstream past here, up as far as
1 hour
Bayswater.
po mula rito hanggang roon sa
Spend a few days of time
Rottnest
in the river,
Island.
hunting, fishing, and doing
Kaya
golfing
mamaya pa kami
things before
makakarating.
heading back out to the ocean.
Aalis lang ng jetty.
If anyone's been on social media, you might have noticed the hashtag Blue Boat Shed, particularly Insta famous. The iconic and well photographed blue boat shed. We're seeing it from the riverside. plan. It's the opposite angle to what corrupt business tycoons and corrupt politicians, many of whom ended up in jail. And one of those businessmen and later jailbird was Alan Bond. In 1983, he bankrolled the Australia 2 racing yacht to go to America, and it successfully won the America's Cup, breaking the longest winning streak in sporting history. 132 years the Americans had the American Cup. Best day possible. Got any questions? Come and see us, pick our brains. We've got a couple of tours on offer. 90-minute bus tour this morning, 11:30 to 1 o'clock to see the island, air-conditioned comfort, or a 90-minute speedboat ride around the island on our 900 horsepower speedboat. Consider that. 3 meters deep. And at 23 meters, that's the deepest part of the Swan River. The first building you can see there, the sprawling collection of mansions, belong to the Clough family. Now, patriarch Harold Clough passed away last month at 97, and he had lived there with his 4 daughters. Clough gives their name to Clough Engineering, and it was Clough Engineering who built the Narrows Bridge that we passed under, the original one. And the first high-rise building in Perth, Clough Engineering also built the Stirling Highway traffic bridge that we will pass under before heading. Left-hand side, we have the 1 kilometre sand spit of Point Walter there sticking out into the river. Fortunately, our skipper Adam took us the long way around. Didn't try and shortcut across the sandbar. That wouldn't end well. But the bushland on our left-hand side is Point Walter Reserve. 20 acres. Does include a 9-hole golf course. I can see the limestone cliffs there of Blackwall Beach. Bit of a rite of passage for Perth teenagers to water below Blackwall Reach that makes Blackwall Reach a popular spot for scuba diving. Something I like to do is night dive in the Swan River. I grab a torch and a camera and a buddy and go and see what we can find. But one of the things I like to find and photograph are Western Australian seahorses. It may surprise you to know that there are lots of seahorses in the Swan River. They gather here in the lower reaches of the Swan River over summer to breed. They pair up, and the interesting thing about seahorses, it's the male that carries the babies. He's got a pouch, a bit like a kangaroo, and she places her eggs into his pouch where he fertilises them, and 2 weeks later gives birth to live little dry, and the silica sand and calcium carbonate of crushed shells are blew into sand dunes, and then over a period of thousands of years they were rained on, and that dissolved out the calciums and limes and formed the limestone that we see around us today on the Perth coastline. Good to go, because next Saturday is the Rottnest. Next Saturday is the Rottnest Channel swim. So next Saturday, a whole bunch of brave people are going to attempt to swim. 19.7 kilometres between Cottesloe Beach and Rottnest Island. Some people are going to do it as a group. Going to do it as a group of 4. A duo. Do it as a duo, or for the ultimate. For the ultimate physical challenge, you can attempt to swim to Rottnest solo. Now, when I think of ultimate physical challenges, I think of climbing Everest. But only just over 4,000 people have climbed Mount Everest. But only 2,901 people have swum solo to Rottnest. You qualify for a license plate that says RCS, Rottnest Channel Swim, and then the number that follows it is the number of the swimmer that you are. So the next person to swim solo will qualify for license plate RCS 2902. We're about 15 minutes away from stopping at B shed, where we will pick up our remaining passengers. I ask you guys to remain on board during that time, and our bar will be closed while the crew help those people on board and get their bags or bikes on board. So if you would like to have something to eat or drink in your hand while we're at Beachhead, can I suggest popping down to the snack bar now, saying hello to Liam and grabbing what you need. Just past the Pier 21 Marina, and that development was done in the 1980s. I suggest catching a suburban train, and it will take you over that bridge. Having previously seen some ocean views, but it means you can spend a day in Fremantle exploring the museums, cafes and breweries without having to worry about driving or parking. Just catch the train for a few dollars. We're now in Fremantle Harbour. Opened in 1897. As I said, it was designed
Ito
by
sa Fremantle, pipick up mo ng mga pasahero.
It's a busy port. It's only 5 days by ship from here to Singapore, making it the first and or last port of call for many ships visiting Australia. Now,
Ito kami sa Fremantle, naghihintay pa ng mga pasahero. Uminit at nawala ang aircon. Grabing banas. Fremantle Ports. Yan po ang haba ng pila, oh. Papasok rito sa jetty. Dito na kami sa Rottnest Island. Tigi-tigi isang bike. Ayan. Binibigyan po ng bike isa-isa tsaka helmet. Ang problema, baka di ako marunong mag-bike. Ayun. Binigyan pa ng helmet. I got it. Meron pa. Yun ang problema. Paano pagsakay? Kaya po, nag-helmet na si Eva. Bike. Yan po. Ayan po, tigi-tigi sa kaming bike. Yung problema, baka maglabit ako ng bike. Ay, ayan. Oh. Okay, bye-bye. This one, mine. Ayan. Baka ako maglabit ng bike. Baka ako maglabit ng bike. Hindi ko alam po saan ako pupunta.
Now, guess what the ship's called? It's called the Shark. So, if I was to say to you, can you see the shark? The answer is yes. Alright? You saw the shark on Rottnest. Now, that is its name. And she sank there in 1939. There's 14 shipwrecks around Rottnest, but this is the one that you can just jump in and snorkel on. The other ones you need a boat and scuba gear. Now, on our subject of blue, I've got a piece of paper here with blue written at the top. At Parker, you're welcome to stand up if you'd like. We are at Parker Point. Look how many boats have chosen to come over here today and anchor. And notice how most of them have anchored in the sand, so they've done the right thing. But you can see a sandy beach. This is a warmer place to swim than Perth. Looking there to your left, look at all those beautiful. So if you go for a snorkel here at Rottnest, you're going to see a larger variety of fish than if you go for a snorkel. So look at those beautiful waters. This is Little Salmon Bay. This is a sanctuary, one of 5 sanctuaries on the island. Being an A-class reserve, like I said, all flora and fauna on the island is protected. But in the water, around the ocean, around Rottnest, in many places you're. And what a snorkel trail is each of those yellow marks at the bottom is a concrete block with a plaque on it. You dive down and you read some stuff around on the island, as well as some 6-inch smaller ones. And the Perth coastline also had some 6-inch guns. That's the observation tower. So that was staffed by the women of the Royal Australian Navy. They thought they had better concentration than the men, and they sat there with binoculars, looking out over the ocean for any enemy ships that might be approaching. Now looking out there, I can see salt lakes and a wind turbine turning very slowly. I'll tell you more about those later when we go past them up really close, because for now, I want you to look out this way where I'm pointing. On top of the hill, you can see one gun pointing out that way to the north, just on top of the sandy hill there below the line of the Perth Hills. And the second gun is down and to the right, pointing back towards this way. Now, I said they were 9.2 inches. Now for the younger ones amongst us who want metric, which does include me, about nearly as long as a school rule.
Look guys, so very nice. See? Ganda. Well, look at that. Ah, what's ano yun? Banig.
Got a limestone there. Nice little secluded spot.
Ganda. Okay. Hot. Very hot. Look, Eva. Look at me. Ay, hang on. Hello, Kuya Alan. Hello. Very hot here in Perth, in Rottnest Island. You go for walk. Walking. West End, Demersal Zone. Oh, look. Cape Blooming. Look. I want to swim there.
Nice beach. Nice, very clear water. Look, hello. Very nice and clear.
Yeah, clear the water.
The water very clear.
Ay. Look guys, oh, nasa gitna kami ng Rottnest Island. Sarap maligo sa baba. Oh. Napapalibutan ng kabunrukan ng karagatan pala.
That causeway was built to get the salt that was harvested over on the other side of that shiny roof building, and they needed to get it down to the main settlement. There's a white building near the main settlement called the Salt Store, right near the waterfront there. It's called the Salt Store because that's what they used to do there. This little lake's got a bit of an island. Now, that's where the smart birds nest, because those black lizards called king skinks, their favourite food is birds' eggs. They do keep the seagull population in check, but the smart birds nest on an island to avoid predators such as the king skinks. Using recycled sewage. Beautiful green. Got a fence around it, keep the quokkas off. Too much green grass and fresh water isn't good for them. This lake here is called Garden Lake. It is a salt lake. But where the golf course is where the early farmers and the Aboriginal prisoners who had to grow their own food had their market gardens, hence the name Garden Way.
Hello guys, ikot-ikot muna. Tingnan nyo, akala ko hotel yung aming uuwi. Ang ganda, oh, tent. Yan, pare-pareho po sila. Yan po amin, oh. Yan. May 3 bike na kasama. Yan. Tingnan nyo, ang ganda rito. Akala mo nasa subdivision. Nakatulog na ako. Masakit ang aking ulo. Sobrang init. Ang ganda pa yun. Pare-pareho lang siya. Napakapanas sa loob. Sobra. Sa labas ng lakas ng hangin. Masarap ang hangin. Yun po. Ganda. Yun ang restaurant. Pwedeng kang kumain roon. Malapit lang. Walking distance lang sa aming inuwian. Nandun sa kabila naman yung beach. Bukas kami maliligo. Ewan ko kung maligo sila. Ayun, ganda.
What's that?
Ha?
What's that?
Camera.
That's a mirror.
Ay, no, not mirror. Camera, look.
What's that camera?
Oh, see?
You can't see me.
Ang mga bungalow lang siya. Pero hawakan nyo at ano lang yan. Tela. Ay, ano ba tawag doon? Para siyang bungalow. Oh. Oh. Yan. Hello. Sleeping. Kuya Alan. Nanonood lang ako ng mga rumaraan galing sa beach.